What is up, Copy Squad? Happy Wednesday. It's your boy, Kyle Milligan, copywriter.com. Today we're going to talk about 5 catchy headlines that are not clever. And what I mean by not clever is I couldn't think of a good title for this headlines post. Essentially, I want to kind of go over, for folks who don't feel like they're clever, which I am not clever, not a clever guy, I want to show you that being clever is kind of overrated. There's a couple different styles. You call them formulas. I call them templates. I'm not a fan of templates. But there are a couple, headline styles that you can think about that kind of tease your brain, get it going, and help you produce basic catchy headlines that get attention and get people reading your stuff. So, I've got 5 examples I want to share with you. I've got them pulled up here on the old computer. Let's see what we got. Where is it? Surface screen, camera, and mic. I think this is it here. Oh, lordy. I've done it now. Let me move this over here. Oh, and that's not it either. Okay, hold on. There we go. Okay, cool. So, I've got 5 headline styles that will basically catch attention. You don't have to be clever to do these things. I'll say I'm going to do it probably maybe most clever to least clever or something. This one right here is probably the most clever one that I could find. And you'll notice it's all marked up. There's writing all over it. It's because I offer a free swipe file when you sign up for my email list. If you go to kylethewriter.com/swipe, and you get access to all my notes and stuff like that if you sign up for that email list for free. kylethewriter.com/swipe. Oh, and before I forget, which I always do, my book, Take Their Money, How to Write Words That Really Make You Rich, is live, and you can get that at kylethewriter.com/book, and that should teach you how to write copy, or at least give you it's going to give you an immersion into the language of copywriting. It's the main goal. Okay, so here's the 5 things, right? So headline number 1, I call this the contradiction headline. So if you want to grab someone's attention and make them keep reading, one easy way to do that is to embed a contradiction right there in the headline. And this headline, and this whole promo, to be honest, is one of my favorite promos. This is the money map. I don't know if you want to call it I'm done with stocks promo, or if you want to call it their master algorithm promo, or if you want to call it the money zone promo. Regardless, it's a fantastic promo. I highly recommend reading this promo, and it's in my swipe file if you want to check it out. So, you'll notice right there in the eyebrow of this bad boy, it says, America's #1 stock analyst says, I'm done with stocks, and so are you. And then it's pumped up. After 8 years of secrecy, Shah Jelani is revealing a new way to make money in America, up to $11,000 a week without touching a single stock or stock option again. Okay, now there are a couple things that will apply. So the first thing you'll notice here, contradiction. So the #1 stock analyst quitting stocks. Maybe you're a little intrigued. Of course, they still provide a benefit for you there, telling you you can make money in America up to $11,000 a week without touching a stock or stock option. So when you got the contradiction, but you still need the 4 U's, which I got over here on the left: urgent, unique, ultra specific, and useful. And this is definitely useful because there's a benefit in there, right? So it's really important that no matter what you do with these headlines, it's still relevant and useful to your reader. You need to know who your reader is and what they want. For financial copywriters, the reader wants to make money fast because, here, I'll show you our guy. I've showed him a couple times, and he's a big hit. This is Grandpa Kurt. This is the Agora Financial customer avatar. He's a older gentleman, conservative, in his 50s, maybe early 60s, who saved for retirement but doesn't have quite enough. He needs to grow that very quickly. So what's he to do? He's going to look online, and he's going to find stuff like this. Now he's going to want to get these kinds of promotions. He's going to want to get these opportunities because he's tried the Wall Street way, and in the .com bubble, he lost all his wealth. And then when the housing crash, 2007 crash, he lost all his wealth. So he doesn't trust Wall Street. He wants something alternative. He wants something that's not in the stock market or not typical Wall Street, right? He doesn't want that anymore. So that's why we do what we do, and that's why it works, because he's actually looking for something different. On that note, I'd love to ask you really quick, who am I talking to? I want to get a little bit clearer about this because I've had some conversations via email with some of you guys, and I want to ask you, are you a beginner copywriter? Or have you ever written copy? Maybe you haven't written your first piece of copy yet, or maybe you want to get into freelancing. Maybe you're in-house. I just had a conversation recently. One of my followers is an internet marketer who's been doing it for like over a decade. And he's not a copywriter. He's just looking to have like higher conversions on his affiliate offers. So I guess he kind of copywriter, but he's not like doing sales letters like this per se as a living. So it's really interesting as I grow my audience, and we're still growing. I want to try to get a feel for who it is I'm talking to so that I can kind of deliver stuff. I feel like headlines like this definitely going to get everybody, but obviously I'd like to cater the content to you. So please let me know in the comments what your experience level is and like what kind of stuff you want to see more of. That's very important, so that I don't like start talking in random circles about nothing. So anyway, that's headline number one. The first idea is a contradiction. Okay, so introduce a contradiction and kind of get them thinking, what the hell is this all about? Again, I go over like these things like the 4 U's and how to properly like build a headline in my book, Take Their Money. KyleTheWriter.com/book if you're interested in checking that out. Feel free to give that a gander and give him and buy it. Okay, so headline style number 2. This is one that I wrote for Altucher, and let's see. This style of headline is a brutish style. It's not clever, right? So I think the most clever one we're going to see is the contradiction one, because it takes a little bit of thought to like introduce the contradiction and then go back against it. Let me tell you exactly how this one worked too. So the I'm done with stocks one, it worked because he's actually not trading stocks. He's trading, I think he's trading like ETFs or something, like options on ETF. You know, someone's told me like 3 times what it is this is about, and I can never remember. But it's not stocks, and it's not like typical options. So anyway, cool. Next, the $15 trillion gadgets. This headline style, number 2, is the too big to ignore style. And essentially what this is I just went like so big, like you've got to like know what it is. Like it's so enormous, $15 trillion. And there's a bit of a contradiction here because it is a gadget. I call it a gadget. And I immediately have James hold this little thing and say, look at this little thingy. It's worth 15 trillion bucks. So I'll say there's a little bit of a contradiction in there. But the point is, it's so big, you can't ignore. I slightly tease a little bit of a contradiction in there, and I make it bigger than the things you know are the biggest thing in the world. Like everybody knows Google's the biggest thing. Everybody knows Facebook and Amazon are the biggest thing. But I've got this little thing, a little bit contradictory, right? I've got this little thing 9 times more valuable than all of them combined, right? So that's the too big to ignore headline, and we wrote this one for the man James Altucher. All right, cool. Let me see if I got any questions so far. All right, Robert says KyleTheWriter.com/book. Thank you very much, Robert. I will smash like on that. Just getting it out there. Thanks, brother. And he hit the swipe file on there too. Thanks, sir. Okay. Jack says, boom, shale the room. What's up, Kay? Finally got on here. Glad to see you, Jack. Yeah, man, you never catch any of the lives. But that's why I think I want to try to go steady with the 4 o'clock thing, because when I pop in randomly, I don't get the steady turnout that I'd like to have. So yeah, earlier, if you're just tuning in, I asked everybody who is tuning in to please drop like what their experience level is. You can send me an email if you don't want to put it here. Just let me know like where you are. I found out like I'm not actually talking to just copywriters at all. I'm talking to internet marketers, talking to newbies, talking to all sorts of dudes who I might be able to help better if I knew exactly what it is that they're looking for. So that's research, right, baby? Okay, the next one. Okay, this is the details one. Yeah, I love the details one. So details is kind of like copywriting in its purest form. So this is number 3. And what I love about the details thing is it's really easy to do. All you got to do is strip out details that don't mean anything and put them together. And it creates a sort of weird intrigue that makes it creates the itch that needs scratching. Okay, so this headline says why the Pentagon is securing millions worth of the liquid technology inside this unmarked tanker, and how you can play a tiny $2 microcap for short-term gains up to 542%. All right, so obviously all headlines need to be useful, right? They need to provide some sort of benefit. So you can play this $2 microcap, make a bunch of money. What was this one? Insiders believe fastest growing startup uses tech to make a lot of people rich. So there's the benefit there. And the benefit here is a new way to make money, $11,000 a week. We're talking to Grandpa Kurt, remember, and he wants to make money fast. So we know what he wants, which is why I'm asking you, actually. That's the research, right? If I know exactly what you want, I'm asking you, what level of copywriter are you? Are you even not a copywriter? Maybe you're just a salesman who love these principles in your business, which I've also had that too. I've had people in Mary Kay, people who are hairstylists, who are now like selling products and retail using new, easy, safe, and big. So I'm kind of getting blown away by the breadth of my audience, and I want to make sure that I get you what you want. So it comes down to writing a good headline, knowing your audience. You need to know what they want. This guy wants to make money fast. So what you do is you strip out details that don't really say anything. And you can create a totally mysterious aura, right? So for instance, if I told you this sentence, like I said, he bared his teeth and growled. The hairs on the back of his neck stood straight. His muscles flexed with nervous tension, and his body shook, right? Those are details that don't really tell you anything. Am I talking about a wolf? Am I talking about a dog? Am I talking about a hungry person in line at Dunkin' Donuts? Like, who's just got someone cut in front of him? Like, you don't really know the situation. I've given you a bunch of details. But at the end of the day, you don't have a damn clue what I'm talking about, right? So what you can do with the details headline is simply pull out details about the thing that you're going to talk about. They don't really tell you anything. So the Pentagon has purchased millions worth of this liquid tech, and I think it's like ethanol or something. I took a guess at it. I'm not exactly sure what it was. And then they said it's inside this unmarked tanker. Like, the fact that the tanker is marked or unmarked doesn't make any difference, but just by labeling the specifics, you actually create a weird itch that needs to be scratched. So that's like one of my favorite ways to, it's one of the funnest ways to look at in copywriting, because the brain draws these conclusions. It's crazy. Your brain will draw these conclusions, and when you see unmarked tanker, you're like, oh, that's suspicious. But is it really? Is it maybe just a truck with some ethanol in it? Like, that's the thing. Like, when you word it like that, you can just take these details, string them together as such that it creates a mood. For instance, like I was just doing the growling and gnashed teeth and the hair standing up on the back of the neck. Like I said, it could be like a wild animal, or it could be a dude in line at Dunkin' Donuts who's just like really hungry and someone like got in his way or spilled coffee on him or something, right? It could be anything. You don't know, but your brain draws the conclusions. And that's the brilliance in copywriting, is forcing people to draw those conclusions and get them intrigued. All right. What's up, guys? Man, look at this. We've got a regular crowd now. That's so awesome. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3 headlines. And again, this is part of my swipe file. You can see I got it all marked up over here. Urgent, useful, ultra-specific, and unique. Those are important pieces of a headline. If you want to learn how to build headlines and write words that really make you rich, you can visit kylethewriter.com/book and get my book, Take Their Money. It's going to make you a lot of money, especially if you're in sales. And you don't need to be a copywriter. You just be selling anything. I know because people have told me this. All right, we're on to number 4, headline style number 4. And these are headlines for people who aren't clever. Like, you don't have to dream up these things. For instance, this one probably took the most cleverness because it was a contradiction. He was an analyst who's done with stocks. It takes a little bit of cleverness to come up with the contradiction there. This one was just a $15 trillion gadget. I simply added up all the value of all the things that this gadget could improve the size of all those markets, and I just made it way too big to ignore. Not very clever. This one, you could call it clever, but it was really just a bunch of details that he stripped out of something that was obvious. It's like saying, can you see my walls? The wall is blue. An uncannily similar shade of blue to the walls at my first daycare where I found a Illuminati symbol or something like that, right? Now all of a sudden it's like mysterious and weird. It's just the same color, if that was a thing that I just made up. So yeah, you can just draw weird similarities by just speaking on the details. All right, it's not clever. You're just talking about things that don't matter. Okay, next. All right, so this one is, what's number 4? The fairy tale come to life, and I kind of made that one up. I've made all these up, actually. Like, I'm making up all these little styles. I just think it's cool. So I like this one because when I reviewed this on my channel, on the YouTube channel way back in the day, see it's marked up. You can get it at KyleTheWriter.com/swipe. Swipe, SWIPE. I probably shouldn't use weird voices when I'm trying to get you to look at URLs. So the tiny company about to go public with the true fountain of youth. I wanted to review this one and I liked it so much because how do you legitimately sell people on the fountain of youth? Like, is there not more of an absurd claim in the world than there is the true fountain of youth? So like, that's the easiest claim to call BS on and just move about your day. But this worked. It made money, and it's actually, I don't know how long ago it was made, but it's still relevant today because a copy chief sent this to me and said, read this. And sometimes they put the date on the sign-offs of these. Let's see. When did they write this one? 2013, all right? It's so powerful and so relevant that here we are in 2019, and I'm getting told study this promo, right? And that's how crazy that is. So this is, I'm making this up. I call it the fairy tale come to life. So just do something like this, where we're talking about the fountain of youth. Just pick something that's so, like, out there and, like, legend, right? And say, here it is, it's finally real. So once you do that, you can kind of get their attention because they're ready to call BS, so they'll probably go ahead and read that next line. But the next line here is about medical news, the biggest medical news in history, and the biggest financial story. So maybe if you're looking to make money fast, then you might read on to the next line and see what that financial thing is. So basically the fountain of youth thing, that fairy tale come to life, is just grabbing that attention and shifting it immediately to what they really want to talk about, that financial story. That's what they want to sell you. So yeah, just pick something legendary, that you can tie your offer or product to. What is legend out there? And say, this is it. This is actually that thing now happening. All right, so that's number 4, the fairy tale come to life. Pick something almost like mythological. All right, let's go to number 5. Now this one is new. This kind of just came, it's new to me. I just found this recently. I guess a couple weeks ago, maybe. But this is here at Agora Financial. And I really like this one because this one is very, I would say, not clever. But this one, I think, is doing really well. This promo is doing well. But I like it because it kind of just covers all the bases. I like this one. I'm calling it the breakthrough one. And essentially, if you look at this, this is just a breakthrough headline. And it's basically like new, easy, safe, and big, like just in your face. So the most important message you'll ever get from us, so that's big, right? Please read carefully. Announcing, that's new. Patent pending, only. Whisper trading, only. Okay, that's like a secret gimmick mechanism that means us. And then the word breakthrough. So it's like it totally hits on this new and only, and then also big. You always gotta, your headline should be attention grabbing and big in some way. But basically, they just kind of tell you it's new and they tell you it's big. It's the most important thing, and it's a breakthrough. That's so straightforward. Like, you don't have to be clever to say that. Like, there's nothing in here that you could not have dreamed up. It's a patent pending whisper trading breakthrough. Took over a year, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and the help of one genius mathematician, but we finally discovered an unprecedented, meaning new, trading breakthrough, meaning new, that can predict, that's safe and predictable, which stocks are set to jump next. Okay, now if you're new to the channel, we got a big bump in subscribers, and the email list grew pretty quick today. Thanks to Robert, who posted the book on Reddit, and that is actually a pretty hot discussion thread right now. I just checked before I came live. But if you're new, there are 4 things that I hammer, and I wrote that whole book, Take Their Money, at KyleTheWriter.com/book. Whole book is based on these 4 things, what I call the big 4 emotions that you must tackle when you're writing copy. And they are new, easy, safe, and big. And if you look back at this headline, I love this headline so much because it's basically like, it's like the most standard, like it just handles business, man. It's big. It's the most important message. They're announcing it, meaning it's new. It's patent pending. So news multiplier, which I call alter ego in the book, is only, meaning that you can only get this secret information through us. So if you can make something new and only available through you, it will be more powerful. So they do that right here, announcing our patent pending. They do it right there. It's new and only. Right there, side by side. They said it, and then they amplified it. And they call it whisper trading, and they give it a secret name, right? Whatever that gimmick is, it could be a very normal thing. They just took a normal thing. When you see quotations in copywriting, you see quotations like this, what usually has happened is there's something very boring that they don't want to say because it sounds very unoriginal, and they put quotations around something and call it something else. And that's basically what we got here. They just took an old thing and made it new, and then they wrapped it again in a new, this is like a new sandwich, right? Right? This line is new, and then the word breakthrough means new. So this is a giant N-E-W, new sandwich. And they didn't have to be clever. There's nothing clever about this. They're just saying it's new over and over and over and over again. So it's not a clever headline, but it's powerful. It's working. It's selling well, as far as I've seen so far. And then I've got a bonus one here. Boop, boop. This is Trump bonus checks. This is the one me and Rob Braddock wrote. And I'll tell you, it was Rob Braddock that came up with Trump bonus checks. I might have come up with the eyebrow and maybe even the text beneath it, but Rob came up with Trump bonus checks. And the way that worked, we'll call this one, I didn't have a name written down for this headline. We'll call this one the top of mind headline. Okay, this is the top of mind headline trick, or top of mind headline hack, or something like that. But here, all he did, man, we just saw what was hot. There were two things that were hot. Oh. We can call this a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle headline. Okay, I got a story for you. I don't remember who's in the story. It might be like Mark Ford. Someone high up in Agora Financial, I think, was on an airplane, and he met the dude who came up with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. All right, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were the bomb back when I was a kid. He said, how did you come up with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? When you think about it, what a weird thing to come up with, right? He said, I just took like all the things that were popular and I smashed them together. Teenagers, like maybe like Power Rangers, stuff like that. Mutants, like X-Men maybe. And then ninjas were cool. He said, I just took all these things that were popular and cool and smashed them all together. I don't know where turtles came from, but maybe they were the hot thing at that time. And that was it, man. You got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So, Trump bonus checks is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles headline. There are two things that are in this headline. Trump's one. And then bonus checks is two. I put two fingers up immediately. So there are two things in this headline, Trump and the bonus checks. And Trump was the hot thing at the time because he's Trump. He's in the news every day, all day. You love him or hate him. He's a very polarizing figure, so he grabs attention. Now, the next line is bonus checks. Okay, where do bonus checks come from? Well, the bonus checks is because at Agora Financial, at this point in history, not just Agora Financial, but the financial publishing world, there were income promos, or check promos they are called sometimes. They were hot. Like, people could not get enough of check promos or income promos. So, we just, Rob Braddock, took Trump, the hot thing in the news, took checks, the hot promo at the time, and literally just smashed them together. Trump bonus checks. Not clever. It's like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle things. Not clever. I just took two things, smashed them together. Now I've got a high-performing, very high-performing promo from that idea, right? These big ideas and like being clever and like having these wispy thoughts where you go and like take like a 4-hour walk and it just hits you or something. That's cool. I mean, you can do it that way, but you don't need to, right? So here's 6 now. I'm gonna title it 5, and whenever you watch this on YouTube, if you're not watching it live, you'll be like, wow, 6 instead of 5. So that's like my little cool clever thing for you. See, I'm not clever. I'm not smart. All right, so let's see. Jack says, Robert says, were you worried about the taboo of thanking Trump when you wrote it? Absolutely not, Robert. Because, well, at this time, it was definitely earlier on, and, I mean, people still are. People are, like, super fanatics about Trump. And remember who we're writing for, right? I think it comes down to knowing your customer. So, again, customer, right here, this guy. This guy watches Fox News. This guy likes Trump. He probably voted for Trump. And, so, he's happy to get money from Trump. And the thing is, this guy, even if he doesn't like Trump, he probably doesn't like liberals, and he really doesn't like socialism. So this idea that Trump, a businessman, a capitalist, and the president is helping Americans get wealthy, it's just very patriotic. It just kind of fits, right? It just works for him. Yeah. So that is where we get Trump bonus checks. And again, these headlines, you don't have to be very clever. Like, it can be done just by thinking about what's top of mind for your audience, like who your audience is and who you're talking to. And if you want to get a lot more technical about how to do this stuff, I highly recommend you check out my book, Take Their Money. It'll teach you how to write words that really make you rich. It's at kylethewriter.com/book if you haven't gotten that. And also you can get a dive into my research process for promos. There's an upsell there on the page for you if you want to check that out. And one last thing I definitely want to do, speaking of research, I want to circle back for anyone who's just tuning in. I've been doing these videos for a while. We got over 60. We're approaching 70 videos at this point. And my audience is growing, and I just kind of want to get a feel for who I'm talking to. And I've said it a couple times in this video. You can send me an email. You could leave it in the comments here. If you're on YouTube, leave it in the comments there. If you're on Facebook, feel free to drop it right now, or you can message me, whatever makes you most comfortable. But just let me know kind of like where you are in your career. Do you have a 9-to-5 and you just kind of want to you're just interested in copywriting and you want some more knowledge? You want to up your current copywriting game because you're a copywriting professional and you want to like be one of the best. You are interested in working at Agora Financial. I could maybe help you get a job at Agora. Like, tell me what it is that you're actually trying to seek out. And one of the big epiphanies for me was two guys. One guy I've talked to and the other guy I talked to recently are at opposite ends of this. Like, one guy's like a veteran internet marketer who's been doing it for over 10 years. But he's not like a copywriter. He doesn't write sales letters per se like this for a living. He's like an affiliate marketer, email marketer kind of guy, right? But copywriting is very useful to his business. The other guy hasn't written a word of copy. He just really is interested in it. It's probably gonna, I guess he'll pursue it, right? He'll dive in, and it's great to have both of them. But yeah, let me know what kind of content that I should be focusing on and would be most beneficial for you. Or just let me know where you are, and I'll figure it out with my own research. All right. I don't see any other questions coming in. It's another long video. And again, I just hired someone recently to help me transcribe these these videos and get them into a blog. And it's ramping up right now. Maybe we'll have a blog post coming soon. He's going to be pissed. This one has a lot of screenshots and a lot of talking. 30 minutes worth. All right, guys. I don't see any other comments. So I think I am going to sign off. Thanks so much for tuning in. Okay, so by the way, if you got anything out of this video, definitely hit the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Sharing is extremely powerful. I have like 1 share on Reddit today, and I watched my subscribers jump like immensely, like out of nowhere. I was like, wow, that's awesome. So that was really huge. Thanks for sharing. Anytime you share, it makes a big difference. It's like an incredible difference for my reach. If you like it, hit thumbs up. Tell me what your experience level is in the comments. If you want to learn how to write words that really make you rich, get my book, Take Their Money, at kylethewriter.com/book. I saw someone in the Reddit comments ask if the book was legit. Bro, it's a book. Just, like, are you going to lose your house? Like, read the book. You got all these comments saying, wow, this guy wrote this great book, and this one guy is like, yeah, but I don't want to have to invest all that money in that book. You also get the free videos here. So definitely check out the book. If the free videos are providing any value, you can bet the book will be pretty good. All right, guys, I am out of time, sort of, but I'm going to sign off. Thanks so much, Copy Squad. Peace out.